Ibrak, Kutuk, the blood for the tribe for the blood.
Elder Greyfur, Chosen Chieftain Akrog, the blood for the tribe for the blood. Hunter Zazka.
I Kutuk, I Ibrak. How wonderful to see them.
What are they doing out here? Scouting?
I, Master Anug, tell them about strange sparkles in the jungle, so they go see.
There's nothing here, though.
Strange sparkles? What meant, Anuk?
Ibrak and Kutuk asked themselves the same thing. He say the air wavy, like over a fire.
Grungwar, any idea what that could be?
Maybe hex power. Hard to say.
Green spot mushrooms, maybe. They make the nearby air wavy.
Could be. It is true.
Akrog heard them speak about him. Ibrak thinks Nurbok should have been chosen chieftain, and not Akrog.
He must hear wrong.
Well, that is enough to convince Zazka.
Shut up, Small Tusk, or Ibrak will make ugly face even uglier.
Kin harms kin not. Now speak true, or stay silent.
What he want Ibrak to say if they heard all?
Nothing. But Akrog will say this. Akrog is chosen chieftain because Sire Narjak chose him, not because he wants it. Make this not harder than it is.
Ibrak knows, and he's sorry. He no disrespect Akrog. It is just, the moon can lust so many. They cannot lose more.
Trust Akrog. He knows. And once he is chieftain, he will do everything he can to make sure they do not. Now, another question. Speaking of I Master Anuk, where is he? He was not in the camp.
East of the cradle with few others. They say Crumb's beaks find nest of araks out there. Good for eating. What sorts? Kutuk no sure. Let them pray to Magwa. They are blood fiends then. Their flesh is the most nourishing.
All right, they will leave now. There are many things to do. Sharp tusks and thick hide, eyes.
Sharp tusks and thick hide.
Moonblood! Magwa prays he's safe! Zaramak no see him since sunup. Where he go? Out in wild to find Eric Gert. But he should have gone with kin. He's sorry. He Moonblood. No ag no need be sorry to lowly Zaramak. He do what Magwa tell him.
Little Blood? You wanted to give Zaramak something?
True! Here, Noag found... It's so sticky.
Smells as nice as it looks.
True, could work. Can Chieftain give Zaramak moment? Look, pretty. Like Zaramak.
What is this? A hammer?
A songbone. Like greenskin slave drums. But this one makes long sounds like an iron beak's call.
They mean music?
It is true. This is for Crumb then, Noag. What is the occasion? They see.
All right. Akrog needs Zaramak to shape something. To crush things.
What he need? Ha! Zaramak, old hide, he have it still. Here, Chieftain, Mugwa's tooth.
Akrog thanks, Zaramak. To Cabrax, then. Oh, and Zaramak's scrappers can search the cave now. It is safe.
But need give Crumple surprise first.
Right.
Where was Noag? Crumb got worried. He makes something for Crumple. Just show him, Noag. He will like it. Here, gift. A song wood. No, a song bone. But how did Noag make this? And why is he giving it to Crumb? Zaramak helped Noag make it. And he, Crumple always helped Noag, just like Big Blood, Zaska, and Sire. Noag want to ask.
Oh, spit it out already. He wants to make Crumb his trusted one, no?
It's true. That is very kind of Noag. Crumb will gladly be Noag's trusted one.
Well, it is settled then. Shepherd Crumb Kind Soul and Moonblood Noag just struck the bond of trust.
Noag, thanks. He will be good trusted one to Crumple.
Calm, little blood. You can speak with Crumple again later. There is much to do.
His same blood is right. But Crumb thanks Noag again. He will start making sounds as soon as he can. If these old fingers allow it, that is.
Ha! Look at this! The fabled Moonblood. Noag, is it not?
It's true.
Well. Noag truly has his sire's blood. A prime specimen. And Grimoire says he has no signs of the rot at all. No weak bones. No stunted tusks. Nothing?
None. He's not even old enough to hunt yet, but already stronger than some warriors by his 5th year. Grimoire believes he will grow even bigger. Chieftain Narjak aside, Magua praise him. Noag is the strongest moonkin that there ever was.
Well, then Cabrax hopes Noag will sire many cubs. Perhaps one with a Bone King, though.
Noag is standing right here, they know.
It is just mating. So, have the Moonkin shaped the tooth yet?
Akrog has it.
Let Cabrax see.
The Moonkin's great warrior, Nurbok, fears the tribe being here will draw the Tusk Hunters near. Cabrax fears it not?
Cabrax fears.
And yet, he agreed to do the devouring.
And he told Akrog why. The Brittlebone Hunters are dangerous. But the moment Trollkind allows them to crush their traditions and the law, they have won.
Words worthy of a chieftain. Also remember there are no signs of hunters wide and far. They are probably scavenging the kin they killed last moon.
They speak true. Akrog has been meaning to ask this. Why is the Bonekin tribe so small? With their hex power and their gifts, they could become one of the greatest tribes on Urgith.
And what good would that do? Look around, Akrog. This shrine is not big enough to shelter many trolls at once. Especially not if they are fat like Cabrax.
They could build shelters around it.
True, maybe they could. But they would be harder to shield against enemies of the tribe, and draw more attention to the cradle. Also, it was never the Bonekin's calling to grow big. They are the guardians of the cradle, the servants of Mugwar. No more, and no less.
How can it be the Bonekin have not been cursed by the rot? Many other troll tribes have.
That is a good question. One Cabrax has often asked the Bones about.
And? What did the Wise Bones say?
That the cradle protected them. It is the only explanation. There were a few Bonekin whose flesh was cursed, but they were all wanderers who spent many moons away from the shrine when the cursing happened.
This makes sense. Then perhaps the power of the cradle could cure the blood rot too.
Cabrax and the Seers thought the same thing. That is why they allowed the 4 Bonekin, who returned ill to the shrine, to sleep right next to the cradle, hoping Mugwar would mend their flesh.
She helped them not.
Cabrax is certain she tried, but she could not. All 4 are now floating in the moonlit river.
Akrog knows they have spoken of this before, but is there truly no way the Bonekin can let all the Moonkin into the cradle for the devouring? Tradition demands
that all kin see the chosen chieftain devour the heart. Cabrax knows, but there were enough fools in the tribe who wanted the Moonkin not to come here as it is. Rot and all. and Cabrax wanted not to cause more grunting. 12 chosen Moonkin warriors, and the elders of the tribe can witness it. The rest will have to stay outside in the tribe camp.
Of course. Akrog understands. Here. Will this do?
It should. Follow them inside.
Back, Moonkin. This is...
Quiet, Brog. This chosen chieftain Akrog Bloodhexer, Narjak Firstborn's cub. And he is?
The second-born and the moonblood of the tribe. Noak.
Huh. Still just a cub. And bigger than Neok. Why Akrog come here? He want honor his sire's flesh?
It is true. Akrog knows Zazka respected Narjak like no other. Is there anything he wants to say?
He is dead, trusted one. Zazka can say all he wants, but Narjak will never hear it.
Little Blood has been very quiet. How is he feeling?
Nothing.
Nothing what? He feels nothing?
No. This thing, it knows sire. It just flesh and bone, like pig after hunter crush it. Sire is gone, and always will be. Because Noog no save him.
Little Blood, they spoke about...
No. Big Blood no speak. Not now.
Akrog still cannot understand why the firstborn blood protected Narjak not. No arrows could pierce his hide.
No arrows, it is true. But the throwing spike of a brittle-boned stick-flinger could. The firstborn blood only made him long-lived, not invulnerable.
That throwing spike should not have hit him. It should not.
No.
If Mugwa will not guide Narjak into the moonlit river until the devouring, where is his soul now?
Waiting in the earth. When devouring done, Mugwa take soul and bring it to Moonlit River.
At least the Brittlebone hunters left him his tusks.
And great tusks they were.
Akrog still cannot believe he is gone. It is just a moon ago. They were still sitting around a campfire, listening to Grungwar's stories. And now... Akrog will crush the hunters. Every last rotten one of them.
And Zazka will help him.
A fair goal. Just forget not that the tribe must come first. Always.
Akrog wishes they had spent more time together.
Understandable. But there is a good reason a troll cub belongs to and is raised by the tribe, and not its sires.
A troll must not favor his offspring over his other kin, Akrog knows. Still, they had only just started hunting together. Akrog just wishes he had known him better. Akrog should go. He must prepare the devouring.
Sharp tusks and thick hide.
Well then, time for the preparations.
The summoning of Mugwa's cub.
No need to look like a beak shat on his head, Akrog. Summoning Mugwa's cub is a great honor. He should be smiling.
A moonkin and a bonekin have to die for the ritual. Akrog sees nothing to smile about, and he understands not why Cabrax would.
Cabrax told him why. It is an honorable way to die. Being worked to death as a slave of the Greenskins? Disgrace. Starving? Disgrace. Untusked by a brittlebone? Disgrace. But giving one's blood so that Mugwa's cub can take the fabled chieftain Narjak Firstborn into the Moonlit River. That is an honorable way to die. A way worthy of Mugwa's spawn.
Cabrax speaks true.
Arnuk's trusted one will have dark thoughts for a long time. But maybe he will find solace in the thought that Arnuk will be floating in the moonlit river right beside Narjak. It is a great honor.
Arnuk die? Why? So Noag's sire can go in peace, and trusted one Akrog can be the new chieftain. Zazka will explain to Noag, but not now.
The Bloodgivers are already here, are they not? What else is needed?
Prepare the rest of the offering, of course. Wood, food, and crushed stone. Tradition demands for the Devoured One's tribe to gather them. But if Akrog wants, the Bone King can do it instead. He knows the Moonkin are weary.
They are weary, it is true. But the Moonkin will respect the traditions. They will harvest the offering themselves.
Words of a future chieftain. Return when the Moonkin workers have built the gathering dens, then.
All right. The workers are preparing the offering. What is next?
Scrap. Just have the Moonkin scrappers search the cradle. There should still be some mounds nearby. Then comes the blood-giving.
How works the blood-giving exactly? 2 blood-givers must offer their lives to Mugwa. Zazka knows that. But how?
It is complicated. Of the 2 blood-givers, one is the sacrifice, and the other the vessel. The vessel devours the sacrifice, then spills his own blood at the foot of the holy stone.
Elder Grongwa Greyfur is as wise as they say.
What mean devour?
Eat. So he means the vessel must eat the sacrifice's flesh?
Like chosen chieftain Akrog will eat his sire's flesh at the ceremony. It is true. Cabrax told both Bloodgiver Urnuk, the sacrifice, and Bloodgiver Itzka, the vessel, what they should do. Akrog should speak to them once he is ready to make the offering.
He will. Sharp tusks and thick hide.
It is nonsense. Why Urnuk?
Because that is what Mugwa decided. Nurab must move on and choose a new trusted one.
Who then gets killed by the rot? The hunters? Or some stupid ritual? It is all so pointless, Urnuk. The Moonkin will never find peace. Never!
Chosen chieftain Akrog Bloodhexer. Mugwa prays.
Mugwa prays, Bloodgiver Arnuk Softtusk. Is he ready for the sacrifice?
Bloodgiver. All his life, Urnuk was a healer. And now that is all he is.
He became Bloodgiver the moment Mugwa decided so.
Rot Mugwa! Rot the devouring! Rot the hunters! Rot everything! Nurab cannot take this! Nurab, go!
Just when Anuk has accepted his fate, his trusted one will not. What can he do, chosen chieftain? He wants not to leave Nurab like this. Bitter and broken.
Akrog will make sure the tribe helps with Nurab's grief.
How about a soul charm? It is a stone with hex power from the Brittlebone ruins here. It can store the voice of a living creature. If the Moonkin found a soul charm for Anuk, he could speak a few words for Nurab into it. This way, Nurab could treasure them forever.
Anuk would like that. But he wants not to be a burden on the tribe. Nerbak is right. The Moonkin should not stay here any longer than necessary.
Anuk gives his life for the devouring. So this is the least the Moonkin can do. The blood for the tribe for the blood.
Anuk thanks Grungwa.
Where can they find a soul charm?
Cabrax told Grungwa that the kin hoard them. They should talk to their Thing Keeper.
All right. They will be back.
Close enough.
What is it?
Bloodgiver Itzka will give his life tonight. He wishes not to die with the rot in his bones.
The rot can only be passed on through blood, not from troll to troll.
That is what every fool believes. Itzka wants his flesh to be pure when he offers it to Mukwa. No. Why is the chosen chieftain speaking to Itzka? He wants to be alone with his thoughts.
Itzka will devour a Moonkin's flesh. If what he thinks is true, would he not catch the rot then, either way?
He would. But the Moonkin sacrifice dies a few breaths after it has devoured the Moonkin sacrifice. There will be no time for the rot to spread.
Akrog came to offer his thanks and tell Itzka that the ritual is ready.
Thanks? Itzka does this for Mugwa, not for the Moonkin. But he thanks Akrog for his words. Is the Blood Guard waiting?
Blood Guard?
Cabrax has not told him yet. The tradition demands that the Moonkin bring 3 strong warriors to protect the pyre.
Akrog understands. He will take care of it.
He should. Itzka will meet him at the Holy Stone.
Magua prays. He is chosen chieftain Akrog Blood Hexer.
Thingkeeper Neek knows him. The Thrall whose enemies cannot hide from his hexes.
How knows he?
Oh, be no fool. Every Thrall knows the cub of Chieftain Narjak Firstborn. And his same blood, the Moon Blood. Neek must say he expected something else. Akrog looks not yet like a chieftain to me. Let alone the one to follow Narjak Firstborn.
It is true, Akrog is not chieftain yet. But he will be, and he will prove himself.
So easy to shake. Be careful, Akrog, or Ken might take him for a slave. Either way, what came he here for?
This is the Bonekin's treasure, is it not? Why keep so many Brittlebone things?
So the Brittlebones find the knot. Everything out there with hex power is a thing the Brittlebones can use to untusk Thralls.
Akrog understands. Akrog wonders if the Bonekin have a soul charm. The Moonkin's blood giver. He would like one for, well, his trusted one.
Soul charm? The Brittlebone boxes that can trap a voice, no?
It is true. They are small spheres, silver like the moon, and
Neek knows what they look like. And it is true. They have one, here.
What want the Bonekin in return?
Nothing. The Moonkin Bloodgiver makes a great sacrifice. If this keeps the dark thoughts away from his trusted one, Neek is glad to help.
Akrog thanks Neek. Sharp tusks and thick hide. Akrog must leave.
Chosen chieftain.
Akrog never asked. Why is Arnuk called Soft Tusk? His tusks look not soft or brittle.
Akrog speaks true. They are not. Arnuk's same blood Jag gave him this name, actually.
Jag. Grunwa knows this name not.
That surprises Arnuk not. Arnuk said farewell to Jag many moons ago. And he is in the Moonlit River now, along with their sires. They were just cubs when they lost their sires. So, they noticed not. But when they were grown, Arnuk's same blood took care of Arnuk. He taught him how to hunt, how to find herbs. Everything.
But why call Arnuk Soft Tusk then?
Because he always said Arnuk's heart is too soft to be a warrior. Arnuk never liked killing a boar, even if he knew it was right because he needed to feed the tribe. That is why he became a healer. like Shepherd Crumb Kind Soul. There, he can mend flesh, and not destroy it. Could, that is. Anuk will mend no more.
Akrog is sorry. Here. The Bonekin gave Akrog this soul charm.
Anuk likes it. How works it? Anuk just speaks something?
And the hex inside will trap it. It is true.
Anuk sees. Anuk is with Mugwa now. And he will be there when Nurab joins him in the Moonlit River.
Will he bring Nurab the soul charm now?
Anuk would like Akrog to bring it to him. After the devouring, when Anuk is gone.
Why? Nurab his trusted one.
Very true, Moonblood Noag. But seeing Nurab now would only make Anuk weak again. He has said all that needed to be said. Now, it is time for him to do his duty. The tribe for the blood for the tribe. Chosen Chieftain Akrog. Anuk. Make all this death mean something. Save the Moonkin, no matter the price. Chosen Chieftain, has he spoken to the Bloodgivers?
He has.
Good. Then the summoning may start. First, Akrog will have to place the offering at the Holy Stone. Then the vessel must devour the sacrifice. Then spill his blood at the foot of the Holy Stone. Once this has been done, Mugwa's cub will rise from the earth.
Will Cabrax guide the ritual?
No, this is the Chosen Chieftain's burden, and his alone.
Akrog understands.
Chosen Chieftain, is it time? Anuk is ready.
And Itzka is too.
Is there anything else Anuk would like to say?
Just bring Nurab the soul charm when the devouring is over. That is all.
Akrog understands. He will. Itzka, is there anything he would like to say?
No.
It is time. This is the tooth.
Strange.
What is?
That it would end this way. Anuk thought about how he would die so much. Yet, this... it never crossed his mind.
Itzka will honor Ernuk's flesh.
Akrog will be a good chieftain. Anuk feels it. By the golden, shiny, holy hide! Tell Cabrax not! This is not beautiful, Akrog. Tell him not.
Will it? Akrog means whose word obeys it?
Chosen Chieftain Akrog's, of course. He summoned it.
Then the devouring can begin.
It is true. Speak the words, then Cabrax will light the pyre. If he wants to take a last look at his sire's flesh, it should be now. Is Akrog ready?
He is.
Then call in the Moonkin's chosen warriors. Cabrax will brew the embalming liquid. Then the devouring begins.
And so, Elder Grungwa Greyfur gives Chieftain Narjuk Firstborn's flesh to his cub, the Chosen Chieftain. Not only so he may become the new chieftain, not only so his blood stays in the tribe forever, but to honor Magua, the moon goddess who, through all these struggles, still smiles on Trollkind. Magua prays. Do it,
chosen chieftain, devour the heart.
Shield the tribe.
Sire.
And the devouring is complete. With Magwa's blessing, Akrog Blood Hexer is now chieftain of the Moonkin. Speak, chieftain. Speak loud and speak proud, because his words will be remembered.
Narjak Firstborn was not only Akrog's sire, he was also the greatest chieftain of...
Wait!
What?
Something is wrong. They...
Hunters!
This is pointless! The Moonkin must flee, now!
What is he talking about? The trolls will crush them.
No, they will not. Tusks! There are hundreds of them out there. Cabras can sense it. And they killed the cub with a single hex.
He speaks true, chieftain. They need to flee.
But how? The fire is everywhere.
Cabrak knows a way.
What happened? Where are they?
Still near the cradle. This must have been a teleport hex, like the hunters used to get into the cradle. They...
More hunters. Cabrax was right.
To the tribe camp. Now.
Look who has arrived. Nurbok told Akrog this would happen, but he listened not.
Stop, Nurbok. This is not the time for fighting.
Crumb speaks true.
The hunters. How many kin have they killed?
Better to ask how many were not killed.
They have not yet counted the bodies, Chieftain Akrog. But it is terrible. Zaramak, Julog, Anug, Crum, and maybe 24 kin are all who survived. It would have been worse had Anuk not warned Nurbok.
That terrible.
It is, little Noag. It is.
What happened?
What looks it like? The hunters attacked while Akrog was busy doing rituals with the Bonekin. Just as Nurbok said they would. Nurbok guesses the cradle is gone too.
They're still fighting. Cabrax, he told them to flee.
And of course, Akrog obeyed.
It was not like that. Cabrax left them no choice.
Sure.
Zaska speaks true, trusted one. Chieftain Cabrax made a hex that brought them out of the cradle. He wanted the Moonkin not to die.
Well, it's too late for that. Many did.
Akrog understands not. The eyes said there were no hunters, wide and far. So how could this happen? Master Anug?
It is hard to explain. It is true that the beaks and the eyes see no hunters. But when Anug go out yesterday, he see these strange sparkles in the air, like how air look over a fire. This morning, Anug and I see sparkles from the bushes. But suddenly, there is a blue cloud on the sparkles, and hunters come out.
A teleport hex, just like in the cradle.
Mm-hmm. When Anug find out, he run back to the tribe camp, but it was too late. He is sorry, Chieftain Akrog. He failed the tribe, and now so many kin is dead. Anug is not to blame. It was Akrog who would not listen.
Chieftain Akrog.
The small tusk is the last one to tell Nurbok what to do. He is not even a moon.
Quiet. Tusks, maybe Akrog made a mistake, but now is not the time to fight. Kin died, again. And more will die if the Moonkin stay here and wait for the hunters to finish crushing the cradle. They need to leave. Now.
Powerful words. And where plans this great leader to take the Moonkin? Right into the next ambush?
He knows not, but they will work something out.
Maybe there is no need to. Zazka has an idea. Nurbok remembers when he said Zazka was making schemes again? Well, it is true. For the past moon, he has been meeting with a Brittlebone.
A Brittlebone?
That is what Zazka just said. And no, he has not betrayed them. Even though that is what they all believe he is just waiting to do. This Brittlebone, he has a plan that would not just help the tribe crush the hunters, but could also cure the rot.
Cure the rot? How? How is that possible?
And there is the catch. The Moonkin must resurrect a fallen god.
Ever since they crossed the water to start a new life on Urgath, Mugwa had smiled upon her trolls. In their darkest times, though, her smile was sometimes forgotten. The blood rot, the hunters, the slavers. They were not so easy to forget. But as long as Mugwa was smiling, there was hope. Disbelief marked the faces of surviving Moonkin as Zazka explained his idea. A pact with a Brittlebone elder? Resurrecting a fallen god? Disgrace, they roared. Madness! But was there any other choice? So it was that Akrog used the chieftain's word for the first time. The Moonkin would meet this strange Brittlebone in the Blackheart jungle for a peace talk. When they marched to the cradle 5 sundowns ago, the Moonkin had been bleeding. When they abandoned it to the hunters, the wound was wide open.
This is it. The Brittlebone stranger is nearby.
And Nugs still think it is not wise to go alone. Take a few beaks, at least.
Akrog agreed to a peace talk.
And Brittlebones honor peace talks not. They say they will, then they stab each other in the back.
Maybe so. But this Brittlebone had 100 chances to crush Zazka, and he crushed him not. Also, if he is anywhere near as powerful a hexer as Zazka thinks, a few beaks will make no difference. Please, Akrog. If they break the first pact they struck with the stranger, he might choose not to help them after all. The tribe has been ravaged, and they cannot ruin this chance.
Zazka speaks true, chieftain. Trust must start somewhere.
Akrog still understands not what this stranger gets out of this. Why would a Brittlebone help the Moonkin?
Grungwar wonders the same thing.
Well, that is what they are here to find out. Zazka asked him the same question, though, and the stranger told him he stands to gain as much from this as the Moonkin.
100 Moonkin tusks.
Why told Zazka Akrog not earlier that he was meeting with a Brittlebone?
It is difficult. He wanted not to burden Akrog, not after what happened to his sire. Also, nothing was certain yet.
But lie bad.
Well, it is not like Zazka lied, is it? He just told Akrog not. Look, he is sorry. But what was it Narjak used to say? If the stone is crushed, there is no putting it back together.
Akrog understands, but Zazka should not do this again. Trusted ones need to trust each other.
Will not happen again. Now, how about they talk more about his disappointment later?
What thinks Nurbok of this?
Akrog cares.
Nurbok is the great warrior of the Moonkin. His thoughts matter.
Nurbok thinks the small tusk is right.
Wonders never cease.
Nurbok thinks not that it is wise to put the fate of the tribe into a Brittlebone's hands. But it is true if this stranger had wanted to kill the Moonkin, he could have done it when they were not expecting it. Also, Akrog has made up his mind, and the Moonkin are already here. so they might as well go through with it. Stop the club not in the middle of a swing.
It is Chieftain now, Nurbok, not Akrog.
Sure, Chieftain.
All right. Anuk, make camp here and bring in the others. If they are not back by sundown, find the stranger and crush him. Akrog has spoken.
As Chieftain say.
Good then. Grunwar, Zaska, Little Blood, come. Time to find out what this stranger's wild plan is.
Big Blood? The hunters, they killed the Bonekin, no? Big Blood think they untusk Sire?
They probably did, but it changes nothing. Magua took him into the Moonlit River when the devouring was complete.
Well, well. Look what the jungle brought to me.
That stranger?
So, you are the chieftain Zaska told me about. Curious.
He is Akrog Bloodhexer, chieftain of the Moonkin.
A pleasure to meet you, chieftain. I must say, I can't help but be impressed at your level of speech. Where I come from, people still believe trolls are all about grunting and roaring. But let's not beat around the bush, shall we? How much has Zaska told you about my proposal?
Akrog knows not the stranger's name yet.
That's true, and I would rather have it stay this way. Nothing personal, just precaution.
Fine. The stranger can keep his secrets.
Much obliged. So, tell me, how much has Zaska told you?
Magua has given many troll tribes the power to speak. Brittlebones just choose to ignore it.
That is the goddess you worship, isn't it? I see.
All that he knows. The stranger wants to bring a dead god back to life, and he needs the Moonkin's help to do it.
Imprisoned, not dead, but yes, that about sums it up. Let's start from the beginning. After the first battles between the dark and light races, which would lead to the War of the Six, many of trolls, dark elves, and orcs fled to Urgarth to recover.
The Moonkin know about the escape. That is how their ancestors came to Urgarth. The last chieftain, he was one of them.
Narjak Firstborn. I'm aware. And this is not a history lesson. I'm telling you this because of the creature that led the escape.
Zarek's cub. The field dog. What has it to do with anything? It went back to Fiara after the escape, hundreds of years ago.
Yes, that's what most believe, even among the light races. The truth is, the Hibernian Empire sent a division of elite warrior priests after them. The Sacred Seal. They tracked down the field dog and locked it away deep inside a prison here on Urgarth. I believe that prison is on the other side of this swamp. And I also believe that while the priests of the Sacred Seal are long dead, the field dog is still there.
Hibernians. They are the Brittlebones on the land across the sea, no?
They used to be. The Hibernian Empire fell some time ago.
It fell? Oh, Grunwar knew not.
Well, how would you? The only things that travel between Urgarth and Fiara are fortune seekers and mercenaries, like the ones who hunt you.
This makes no sense. Zarek's cub, the field dog, it is a god. Nothing can harm it.
Demigod. And yes, it's true that a field dog can't be killed by conventional means. I'm assuming that's why the priests of the Sacred Seal imprisoned rather than killed it.
How knows the stranger all this, if no one else does?
Such a curious troll. How refreshing. First, I have access to records most other people do not. Second, for the past 5 years, I did little else but study these records.
If those Hibernians could trap Zarek's cub, why not kill it? They were lightlings, no?
It is true. Maybe they were not able to.
My thinking exactly. It would have been in their interest to kill the field dog, and I'm fairly certain that was their original mission. But something must have prevented them.
And the stranger wants to free Zarek's cub, hoping that will gain him and the Moonkin his favor. That is his idea, no?
That is correct. Zaska told me of your scourges, Chieftain. The Rot, the Hunters. There is no way you'll wrestle down those foes on your own, but with the help of a demigod, that would turn the tables.
What thinks Grungwar of this?
He thinks it is a bad idea. Even if this temple exists, and even if betting the last Moonkin warriors on this strange plan would not be madness, who is to say the cub would even help them if they break its shackles? Zarek has never cared for the trolls. He made them slaves, arrow fodder for the greenskins to toss at their enemies. For all they know, the cub would simply devour the whole tribe and leave.
Better to be eaten by a god than be untusked by a brittlebone. The stranger speaks true, Grungwar. They have no choice. Even if the hunters stop tracking them down, the Rot will still keep killing Moonkin cubs before they are even born. What will Grungwar do about that,
They have Noag. He has the Moonblood.
It will be many years before Noag can mate. And even if he were to sire 1,000 cubs, how would the tribe feed them while they were little? Please, Akrog. They have tried running. They have tried hiding, but it never worked. Just this once, let them do, and not be done too.
Fine. They will take a look at this temple, then they will decide what to do next. Akrog has spoken. The stranger says this temple is here in the jungle?
Yes, I can show you. There's just one thing we need to take care of first. The Chainers.
Those green-skinned slavers?
Yes. A small troll tribe lived here. And the Chainers rushed through the jungle a few days back and enslaved them. The main group is gone, but there are still a few troops left. And they have set up their cowl right in front of the temple. I know your ranks have been decimated, but you should be able to take them on, especially with the element of surprise. Finally, there's another matter we should take care of before we move into the temple.
One more thing. Why needs the stranger the Moonkin for this? If he is as powerful a hexer as Zaska says, could he not free the cub on his own?
A fair question. Suffice it to say that breaking into an ancient temple has its own unique challenges, where the muscle of your kind would come in quite handy.
That is all, then. The stranger needs someone to crush rocks for him.
Well, not quite. It's also about safety. That temple has stood abandoned for centuries, so it's bound to be crawling with all kinds of vermin and undead. I thought about hiring a mercenary corps, but they are expensive, attract a lot of attention, and will probably stab you in the back the moment they sniff a gain to be made. I know this probably isn't the answer you wanted to hear, but it's the truth.
Grungwar, what tribe could these trolls belong to?
Mudcrawlers or bug tusks, probably. They are the only ones who live this deep in the jungle.
Akrog never heard of those before. What are their bonds to the Moonkin?
Probably not enemies. They honor Magwa's law.
So how could they possibly be bad trolls?
Well, they should still be careful. So, these brittlebones in the temple, the sacred seal, the stranger said they died. What happened to them?
That's a mystery I'm hoping to solve once we're inside.
Whatever it was, Grungwar is sure the cub played a role in it.
What is this other matter?
Well, it's related to the creatures of this lovely jungle. Briefly put, some kind of disease seems to be making the rounds, and it makes creatures go mad, docile and predator alike.
A disease, perhaps.
If so, then it's no ordinary one. It also seems to spread. I've seen more and more animals like this. Considering you have a tribe to feed, you should probably put down those cursed animals whenever you see them. Otherwise...
They might corrupt the entire hunting grounds. The stranger speaks true. The Moonkin will take care of it. What about the stranger? Will he help the Moonkin fight?
I would, but something tells me I should save my strength for when we find the temple. I will do some scouting in the meantime. There are a couple of things out here I have yet to look into.
Fine, if you must. And one more thing. If the stranger betrays the Moonkin, Akrog will crush his skull himself. He swears it on his sire's name.
Well, I'm rather fond of my skull, so that won't happen. Don't worry. Good luck now. We'll speak once you've dealt with the chainers.
And... gone.
A teleport hex, like the hunters used.
It is true. Well then, let them take a look at this tribe camp to see what the Moonkin are up against. They will bring the others when it is safe.